Hey there, we have like eons of stories to tell, so if you want to follow us along on this journey and keep up with all the stories that we have putting out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Hey, what is up everybody? Chad is here, and today we're continuing with Injustice, and this is this is gonna be a sad video. It's gonna be a sad one. You'll see like when we get like halfway through it, but it's gonna be a sad video. It's kind of messed up what happens, and like the circumstances of it happening. But we're just gonna get there. All right. So the first part of this video, like it starts with the Flash, right? Like the Flash, he's basically struggling with something that happened between Wonder Woman and Superman, and a protest that occurred pretty much, right? So what happened is like this guy, he was protesting Superman and Wonder Woman and pretty much everything that they were doing, right? The way they were handling the situations. Superman, him pretty much taking over everything, and like basically intervening in human affairs pretty much, right? So like he was protesting, and basically Wonder Woman and Superman, their idea of taking this guy down is to literally take him down, right? Like they put him down. Mind you, now this is just a kid. Like they put him down like rough, like as hard as they can. He's a superpowered kid, but he's still a kid at the same time. And when they did that, they're so strong, they basically crippled this guy. So the Flash, he's struggling with it. Like he's watching it this entire time, and like he describes it as like I can literally tell that this guy was crippled from his vertebrae snapping as it was happening, right? Like before it even happened, I even knew that it was happening, right? He takes off, and like he takes off, and he's like running down to Australia, and he's running down this like super long road. It's like 90 miles of just like straight road. He's just like running down that, and what happened is like he actually gets contacted by Bruce Wayne, right? Like Batman. He gets contacted by Batman, and Batman tells him to go somewhere. So where he tells him to go is pretty much this care center where this kid he resided at, like where he was getting his treatments and all that different kind of stuff. And when the doctor comes out to talk to Flash, she like starts showing him like he was a fan, like he was a real big fan of y'all, like he has like pictures, he has like a picture with you, stuff like that, like he was a real big fan, like he wanted to be a hero. And Flash, it hits him hard. He's like, okay, yeah, I definitely should have done something. He's like struggling with this, right? Like he's struggling real bad with this stuff, right? So with that happening, Barry Allen, he takes off, and during this time, Superman, he actually ended up on a news channel. So what he did, he ended up on a news channel. Pretty much Two-Face, he was actually there, and he was like, threatening these people. He had a gun, stuff like that. And Superman, he showed up and he stopped them. So when he gets there, one of the anchors, they actually wanted to talk to him about some stuff. They're asking him like would Lois have been satisfied? Like is this what she wanted? Like would she have been satisfied with what you're doing right now, your crusade that you're going on? Stuff like that. And he starts answering. He's like, I mean, I hope so. Like I don't know for sure, but I really hope she does. Like I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Stuff like that, right? Like he's just saying like there's a sickness in Gotham. Pretty much talking about all the crime that happens there, right? So with that happening, Batman actually, like he's watching this, and he decides to actually go and try to stop Superman, because Superman, he takes off, and Batman, he knows where he's going, right? Like he knows exactly where Superman is going, right? He's going to Arkham. So Batman, he gets Dick Grayson, he tries to get Damian, but Damian, he's starting to rebel a little bit, right? Like Damian Wayne, he's talking about like, why would we stop him? Like he's doing us a favor, he's getting all these criminals off the street, stuff like that. Why would we go in to stop him? Batman, he doesn't have the time for it, he's just trying to leave, basically trying to convince him that it's not right, stuff like that. So him and Dick Grayson, they just leave, right? Damian Wayne, he stays there. So they end up going, and pretty much like soon as all of them meet up there, like Superman and the Justice League and Batman, Dick Grayson, like they're with the criminals, and it turns out Damian Wayne actually sided with Superman. He came, he showed up, he told all of the Justice League where Batman was going, right? He's going to Arkham, right? So they all showed up there. So with that happening, Batman, he's talking to Wonder Woman and Superman, basically telling them that they can't be doing stuff like this. And Wonder Woman, she starts like releasing all the prisoners, right? She's like, Cyborg, release the prisoners. And as soon as the doors open for these guys, they just like disappear, right? The Flash took them away to a secure facility that they have, right? So when that happens, Batman, he actually ends up activating this virus that he implanted in Cyborg, like the very first time they met, right? Like that's how Batman get down, right? Like as soon as he meets somebody, he finds out what they can do, he finds out their weaknesses, and he finds out ways to he gets like these protocols in plan, to stop them if something were to ever happen, right? So he ends up like activating this virus of Cyborg, and pretty much like knocks him out, right? So Nightwing shows up. He turns off the virus that Cyborg has on him. You know, he's trying to ease the tension, right? Like he's just trying to, you know, calm everybody down. Yeah, let's just talk this out. We don't have to, you know, like get, you know, we don't have to get violent, you know, stuff like that. And when that happens, Green Arrow and Harley Quinn, they end up showing up in Arkham, right? Like that's basically where he was trying to hide her, so Superman couldn't get to her. After seeing him killing all these like criminals and stuff like that, you know, he's basically trying to keep her out of the way. So when that happens, you know, he actually ends up finding out that Superman and the Justice League, they're there. Like, they're all there. Like, they're basically, you know, they're with Batman, you know, they're there. So he leaves Harley Quinn with this guard, right? He leaves Harley Quinn with this guard, right? And like okay, oh my god, this part is hilarious. All right, so basically, you know, like she has like this mustache. She has like this fake mustache, and like it turns out like this fake mustache is actually it's actually a lockpick, right? So she's like picking herself out of the lock, and like she's like asking this dude like how many times have I broken your nose? And he's like three times my nose. Yeah, the same nose. Yeah, you broke it 3 times. And like she like backhand him and breaks his nose again and just gets on the computer and just started releasing all these different criminals, right? So with that happening, she actually ends up releasing this big guy, Grundy, Solomon Grundy. If you know who that is, like dude is a tank. So she like releases all these different criminals, basically like letting them out so they can, you know, fight for themselves, right? So Superman can't just do whatever with them. So when that happens, Grundy actually ends up arriving where the Justice League and Batman and all those guys are, right? So when that happens, they end up having to go chase Grundy down, right? Because he jumps in, he grabs Robin and literally just drags him down to the bottom, like drags him down to the sewer, right? So they have to go and fight him and basically take down Grundy and get Robin back, pretty much, right? So when that happens, you know, they go in and basically it's not really like a big deal. It's not like a super like long fight. It's basically just, you know, him, Superman just like going through the chest of Grundy and then Batman like blowing his head up, right? And they take him down because he's not gonna die. So I mean, it doesn't really matter how they take him out. So they take him out like that. And when that happens, Robin and Nightwing, they go back up. So when that happens, basically when Robin and Nightwing go back up, they get into it, and like Robin is like, you know, he's like, you know, arguing with Dick Grayson because Dick Grayson is trying to calm him down, right? Because he's like, Robin is getting brutal. Like when it comes to Damian Wayne, bro will kill you. Bro will kill, like he's a very dangerous, he doesn't have morals like Batman, right? Like he's just, you know, he's very brutal, like he will kill you. So like Nightwing's trying to keep him from like killing these criminals and stuff like that, right? And basically Robin, you know, he gets frustrated and he like throws his baton at Nightwing, right? And normally Nightwing, whenever Damian Wayne does this, he catches it, but this time he didn't actually catch it, right? It hit him in the head, you know, he like started falling over and he like tripped on the rock, right? And he like fell and popped his head on the rock and it broke his neck, killing him instantly, right? So Dick Grayson, he just died, right? Like in the middle of all this fight that they have going on, you know, like these two groups coming together to, you know, talk, like try to let out the differences, like being so violent with each other, it just resulted in the death of Nightwing, right? One of the most genuine heroes out there, right? So when that happens, Batman, you know, Wonder Woman, Superman, they all come back from this hole, right? And basically Batman, he freaks out, like he loses it, right? Because like aside from Damian Wayne, Dick Grayson is like one of the closest things he had to a son, right? Like literally he just lost one of his sons, right? So that hits him and everybody else in here like drastically, right? Like literally everyone in here is just like in shock because of how genuine as a person and hero that Nightwing is, right? Like when it comes, like he's like on the level of Superman when it comes to, you know, how genuine they are as heroes, right? Not this Superman. This Superman is, you know, is kind of a dig, you know, in Justice Superman, but like normal Superman, yes. So when that happens, like you know, Batman, you know, he takes off, right? Like he tells, you know, he's pissed at Damian Wayne for killing Nightwing, doesn't even want to talk to him. He takes off, right? He just takes Dick Grayson's body and leaves. So when that happens, Superman, he goes and tracks down Catwoman. So what he's doing is like she's in the middle of like robbing this dude, basically, you know, trying to give like this money and stuff that he has away from this dude who's like conning people and stuff like that, and give it back to, you know, people that he's conning from, you know, stuff like that, you know, like Robin Hood kind of stuff, you know. So when that happens, she ends up like going down into this sewer trying to get away from Superman, because Superman's chasing her, and you know, he's like telling her like, I don't want to, you know, I'm not trying to stop you, I just need to talk to you, you know, stuff like that, right? And so she's like, okay, talk. And basically, you know, he starts telling her, you know, Nightwing's dead, right? You know, like she starts crying and stuff because, you know, like how close she is to the Bat family, you know, stuff like that. And you know, like she's basically telling him that you know, go talk to him, that's your best friend, you know, like that's Bruce Wayne, okay, you're Clark Kent, like just go and talk to to him. And what he's saying is, no, it's too late for that, right? Like there's too much between us. There's too much bad blood between us. It's basically the Iron Man and Captain America effect after Civil War. Like after the movie Civil War, how that went down. It's basically like that. Like how he said, you know, like they're like when Bruce was telling him to go and talk to Cap, and he's like, I can't. Like there's too much to happen between us. I can't just go and talk to him. You know, it's just like that, right? So he's like telling her that, and what she says is she's actually gonna go and talk to him. When that happens, she goes to the manor. And basically she goes in and she sees like Alfred, and he's like sitting there, you know, drinking and stuff, because he was like extremely close with Dick Grayson, right? Like they literally lost a pretty much a family member. And like she goes down, you know, like she's trying to console Alfred, and she goes down to the Batcave, and she's like trying to like find Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is down there just like, you know, he's grieving his heart out, right? Like he is grieving his heart out, he's punching on this like piece of wood, you know, like pretty much just letting out his anger. And like, you know, he's sitting there crying and stuff, and she like shows up and she consoles him, right? So when that happens, they end up like meeting with the president. So when they meet with the president, there's like a bunch of different stuff that they're talking about, like, but the most important part is the president is trying to get them together to gather a team for them to, you know, like go and try to basically stop Superman, right? So he gives them like these files, and basically Batman, you know, he's saying, I mean, I have more, you know, more information on these people than what you're giving me right now. I can do this, you know. So they end up like going around, and they're just, like pretty much gathering forces, right? Like they're picking up teammates, people that couldn't fight for them, you know, Black Canary, Black Nightwing, Captain Atom, Aquaman, you know, all these different people, right? So while he's doing that, you know, like he's telling all of them like what they got to do, and basically they're all saying they're on board, no question about it, right? So when that happens, like during all this, the Justice League are in Kahndaq, right? And pretty much they're fighting against Black Adam. You know, fight Black Adam. He's taking out all these different people. Like he's literally just fighting he's fighting off Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman. He's fighting all of them off, right? And pretty much like what he's telling them is like people shot a missile into my country, right? Like they shot missiles here. They killed multiple people, kids included. Like I'm gonna retaliate. Like if you want to stop me, you're going to have to physically stop me. The only problem is I don't think y'all can do that, especially not individually. Like I'm literally wrecking you, Superman, all of y'all. Like they're like, if you want to stop me, come at me together, right? You know, stuff like that, because he's not gonna stop. Like he's a fierce protector of Kahndaq. Like you don't mess with Kahndaq, right? Because he will kill you. Like he doesn't care at all, which is what he should be, right? So when that happens, they actually end up coming together, and they try to they basically hold him down, right? And while Superman's like holding him down, Wonder Woman pretty much like wraps him up with the lasso of truth. She's asking him like, you know, like how can we stop you? And what he responds is the most truthful thing ever, right? You can't. I am going to kill whoever has done this, right? You know, just like that. Like Black Adam, oh my, Black Adam's so dope, and he's just like says it just like that, right? And so like she asks him again. She's like, okay, well, what is your magic word? And basically while she's asking him that, she's like, Black Adam is pretty much, you know, he's coming to Billy Batson, right? Like he's coming to Shazam, and pretty much what he's asking Shazam is protect Kahndaq, right? Like they're going too far. I'm probably not gonna live through this. I need you to protect Kahndaq, right? And Shazam, you know, he's feeling bad, right? Because he knows that Black Adam is like hundreds of years old, right? Like he knows this, so he doesn't know like what's gonna happen to him if, you know, he were to say his words and become, you know, his old self. Like will he just die? Will he just like, you know, like whatever, stuff like that. And when she asks him like, what is your magic word? He says Shazam, and he turns him back into Black Adam. I mean, he turns him back into his normal self. And it doesn't actually kill him. It just turns him really old, which is kind of weird. Like he's like hundreds of years old, but it probably should have killed him, but it doesn't. You know, he's just still alive. And pretty much Shazam is like, you know, like he's gonna be conflicted with this, right? So they all leave there. You know, they leave all of the civilians there, you know, like unguarded. You know, they have no protector. You know, Black Adam's gone, and there's nobody there to really watch them, right? You know, they're just off by themselves at this point, right? So when that happens, they all end up leaving, and Billy Batson, you know, he goes home, and what he does is he's like conversing with himself, right? Like he's conversing with the Shazam personality, and he's trying to figure out like is this, you know, is this the right thing to do? And pretty much Shazam is like, okay, as a god with all this wisdom, I would say yeah, it is the right thing to do. But Billy Batson as the kid, he's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have the wisdom of Solomon. I don't know like if this is the right thing to do. Like from my perspective, we just left him without a protector. We just turned Black Adam back into a 100-year-old man without even knowing if it's gonna kill him or not. Like we are potentially murderers. Like we are horrible people at this point, just like that, right? Like Billy Batson himself doesn't know what to do, right? Like he is very conflicted. So I'm gonna end this video here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all in the next one.